Hello, everyone. Today is February 4th, 2026. This is the Kubernetes Data Protection Working Group meeting. Yeah, we have a lot of things in the agenda today. First, let's look at the features we're targeting for 1.36. So we are moving CSI-CPT to beta. The car is here. You want to give an update?
Well, there are a lot of interesting issues happening in a bad sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get the
This is the point of
end-to-end.
beta, right? Find the bad thing.
Yeah, it's right. I think
Yeah,
it's
probably
scientific.
not the day before or not on the deadline day.
No, I think
Yeah.
the PRR is just you today is really just you fill out the form. So I think
Right.
the person
Okay.
is already reviewing. It's okay. So you just need the let's see what's the uh enhancement freeze 11th, right? Yeah. So you have a week, right?
Yeah.
Get everything resolved in a week. So we need
Okay.
to get the E2 test merged before that.
So ETU
Uh,
tests need to be merged.
yeah.
Then there's some feedback by uh, Standa
Okay.
ST Lars. I don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce his last name.
he's probably he's like a PRR reviewer, right? So he's
Right, right. So the
okay.
whole bunch of questions there,
Oh yeah, we
I
need
am
to.
I'm not sure I can actually answer all of them. Some of them are asking for changes to the code.
Mm,
If Prasad is around, Prasad, you may have to want to look at something about the authentication tests and other things like that. So,
So
so I haven't gone through all his stuff yet. I'm still looking at the PRR and fixing things. We didn't have links to the testing, um, either the integration testing or the end-to-end testing links. I put those in. It's not in this. I haven't pushed it yet, but yeah. And there are changes. It's yeah. It's a level of diligence which we have to like there's some questions I can't even answer. Like for example,
okay.
if I say things like CSI driver specific, the logs will appear in that, and he says what log records. Now
Yeah,
it's
you
like
first need to elaborate.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to answer that because it's vendor
Okay.
implementation
Well,
specific.
yeah, you can bring it to discussion, right? There's other people who are
Yeah,
driver
like this
maintainers,
question
right?
here.
what
So,
was that last one? Because
but,
everything you were saying sounded like stuff that we would want. Like it's all good. But what was the
Like
last
here,
yeah.
for
one?
example,
Which
I added this thing here. It's like log record, like which logs would appear in the CSI drive. I mean, what do I say to that? It's logs from the external snapshot metadata. I was like, I don't know how you to respond to this. So
which log would appear in CSI drive? You can talk about yeah. So but this will have logs, right? So did you mention this log? Okay, log records
that's what I added.
visible in the uh.
Yeah,
Well, you
the
can
only
install.
logs we can
Why
speak to are the ones generated by sidecars. We can't speak to
driver?
logs
Yeah.
from SPs.
That's true. Yeah. So you could, let's see. Can we use host path as an example? But that one does not,
Okay,
sorry,
so
does not have log.
the question is, this is the
Mhm.
sidecar. Where do the sidecar logs go? I don't know. I
Oh,
assume they are.
sidecar logs, never sidecar logs. Each sidecar has logs, right? Each container has its own logs.
Yeah, but
So
where the
what is the
logs go
question?
is up to the storage vendor because storage vendors deploy the sidecars.
Where
Correct.
does it go? I mean,
They just go
he
wherever
needs the
the other.
directory. What? Those, what was this
I
question?
mean, if it's normal CSI, then you do kubectl logs minus C,
Yeah,
right, and
yeah,
give
yeah.
the container name.
That's
But
the same
that
thing,
depends on
same
how they
thing.
launch, how they deploy it.
No,
I
just
don't know how they
assume,
deploy it.
no, you just talk about the one deployment, right? So usually just look at the snapshot, right? Just typically this is deployed together. That's actually what we are planning to deploy, right? Or maybe other people who have implemented in their driver, they can chime in, right? So you usually deploy that together with your driver in the same pod. That would be easier communication.
All
Otherwise,
right, I'll just say
that,
wherever the CSI driver deployment,
yeah. You have to
depending
have a
on the.
CSS driver deployed together with that. Otherwise, you need to have like two instances of CSS driver. Otherwise, how do you communicate, right?
Yeah, but the point that the storage vendor could do something weird with their logs is a valid one, right? We can't stop them from doing something weird with their
Well, that
logs.
yeah,
But
that's fine, right? We just give an example, right? We can't if they want to do something weird, then well, we can do whatever they want. We just say, hey, this is typically what you do. Maybe that's what you say, right? Typically,
Okay.
it deploys together with CSI driver, and this is just one container, right? Just say this is same as external snapshotter, similar to external snapshotter, right? Just use that. It's
Yeah, and
not
I don't
completely
even know
new.
that because that depends on whoever the vendor is, right? So,
but
No,
from our
just
perspective,
say
all the sidecars are the same.
yeah,
okay.
just oh, you know what? Just go to the maybe he's not familiar with CSI driver, so maybe go to the CSI driver docs. There is some like basic saying how they are deployed, sidecars are deployed, right? Maybe
Okay, I can
read
put a
that.
reference to that.
Maybe
Yeah.
just say, hey, typically this is how they are deployed, and maybe as example, as a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
reference, or even I don't know if that would help, but that one does not have the external snapshot media like the a long time ago, and there's this diagram by Bassad. This just like very general one that might help. But I think the CSI docs has a diagram, a simple one. Just take a look of that one. Maybe that's sufficient. I think he probably just does not know. Well, yeah, it's how CSI driver is deployed in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a general
I'll
thing.
just put a link to the CSR driver deploying
Yeah,
section.
yeah.
That's what the diagram is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that should help. You just say, hey, the same way. This is another sidecar, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. What are there any other question you think are very hard to answer that we
Well,
maybe can talk briefly?
I'm slogging through it and
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can
yeah,
pin folks in the
helping folks, except that
slides. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I know
their
people.
time zones are off by me. Okay.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, especially people who have already implemented this already, right? They probably have an answer right away. They can just give an example. They can maybe even give a link to their driver, right? They implemented this way, right? Something like that. That might be helpful for people to understand.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why usually when it goes to beta, there's a lot of you have to spend a lot of time filling out that form.
See, I mean, then he say, then look at the 1401. Like he
Where
says, I don't think the CSI driver should be responsible for API presence. I mean,
where?
that's the one it's probably where is it? It's 1401 1301 before this. No, not no no. It's a question. Test presence. Yeah, this one. Okay, I have to read
Oh, this
exactly
is a
what it
different
is.
one. You just explain him. This is a very different one. This is a yeah. Just explain the. Maybe would be helpful for him to read the blog. I think blog is the most easy way for people to understand what this feature is about, right?
Okay, I mean, I can
Maybe
respond to
just
the
say,
comment,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
It's fine. Just say, hey, this is why this is a special one. The reason why this is just for CSR driver. He's probably thinking about in general, CRDs are not for driver to deploy, which is correct. But this is a special CRD. It's not like the typical CRD, right?
okay.
Maybe just show, I would say maybe show a blog, see if he can read that quickly and see what this feature is about. This feature is a little different from other features, so it is a little hard to understand.
All right. Yeah, I don't exactly know his perspective, so yes, like some of these questions are a
But
little
yeah, but I
bit.
think this feature is implemented a little bit different, right? Like the gRPC
It is.
interface.
It is. It's
We
yeah,
usually have
definitely.
CRD, so that part alone take people some time to understand, right? So I think I would think blog would be helpful for people to understand, just like high level
Okay.
what this one is doing, maybe.
I think the perspective of the product readiness people is they have a checklist of best practices that they're just trying to keep everyone on the same best practices.
All right.
Um, because there's a lot of learnings that are non-obvious and compiling them into a big checklist, which is what the PRR is, and enforcing them is valuable. But yeah, all these slight deviations are confusing. So we just have to explain
Yeah.
how we're different.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll slog my way through this and
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay, and then I think the ET test, I think, yeah, the author is trying to address I think there were some failures on CS, he's working on it. So at least, we are working on those. Okay. And then next, so working group snapshot, right? So we're moving that to GA. So I have a cap update. So I think it's just waiting for PRR review. But because I think we have already gone through beta, I think going from alpha to beta, that you need to spend a lot of time filling out the form. But usually at beta phase, you have already filled it out. So I didn't really change the PRR section. So hopefully that's straightforward. And then we are also adding more tests. So there are PRs out and then more PRs coming. So those are ongoing. And yeah, so I don't know if we have a update on the white paper. So we do have this this topic coming, right? So let's see.
Yeah, for sure. I'm here and I can speak to it.
Is it Martin?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. All right. All right then. Yeah. Go ahead. You have anything to share, or you just
No, not at the moment.
okay.
I'm new to the Kubernetes community processes, and I apologize in advance for any missteps as far as protocol or other kinds of elements of decorum. And in future elements of this discussion, like whatever is going to be needed to advance these proposals, I'll have prepared in advance.
Okay.
Broadly speaking, we've identified a need within definitely the marketplace, but in the broader community to standardize around to standardize some of the objects that are desirable and necessary for disaster recovery. And we understand that this has been attempted before. There have been issues with gaining industry consensus. We believe that we're better positioned to address those issues of industry consensus, and we can kind of take some of that head on in a little bit. But broadly speaking, we are trying to build on the upstream Raman DR project. And within the Raman DR upstream, we
how
are,
do you spell it? Raman DR, is that right?
yes, Raman DR.
Okay. Well, do you have a link to this? GitHub?
Yes. That's the upstream. And so architecturally, Raman DR is at least two major components. One is a DR orchestration, a DR orchestration product that works as an ACM/OCM extension. And the other part is a set of CSI add-ons that describe APIs and CRDs for replicated CSI objects. And what we're bringing to this working group to propose is the elevation of the CSI add-ons in particular to the full CSI spec. Now we have, there's some pressure testing that needs to be done for the add-ons themselves. These add-ons have been implemented and are shipped as part of Red Hat/IBM's ODF product. And Raman itself is also shipped as the ODF multi-cluster operator. That may or may not be of interest to the working group, but that's one of the implementations that's required for GA. Because this project has historically been very ACM focused, very ODF/Ceph focused, we're looking for broader interest among other commercial producers of storage gear. And we believe that the best path for the community is, instead of building something completely from scratch, trying to build on the work that the Raman Upstream project has done. So we're working with other commercial array storage array partners to make the Raman DR project more interesting and attractive for people who may not have as vested of an interest in ACM/OCM as Red Hat IBM does.
Are you able to
And
disclose the list of storage vendors, or is that not public information?
not all of them are public, but I see at least one of the others on the call, and maybe he would be interested in speaking to that.
I'm hearing crickets. I just want to congratulate you on, like, I think this is the right way to get a complicated feature like this into a public standard, is to fully implement it and work out all the kinks out of tree, and then propose it as like, hey, here's a way to do it. My worry with this specific one is, as we bring in more storage vendors, like, the number of changes required to accommodate a fully generic interface might be large. But like, this is a great starting point to say, like, look, we've done it. Let's start from this. So please continue. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it might very well be, but because this implementation has historically been welded to, Ceph and, Ceph/ODF and to ACM/OCM, there are some, kind of lingering concerns about whether the data model for replication and the model for how replications are modeled within the project are going to match what
Yes.
commercial array vendors would want to see. We are
Yes.
fully aware of that.
That's my concern too. But like, yeah, at least here you have a way to make progress on that, right? You can say, well, here's our starting point. What amendments do we need to make it more compatible with more storage vendors? And then you can evolve and evolve. And eventually, I think we'd reach a point where people would say, yeah, let's just bless this into CSI. So I like the approach.
Yeah, yeah.
This
I mean,
already
broadly
been
speaking,
is
that's the
this all,
strategy.
like the oh, I see I see now you have volume group replication, because last time I don't think you had, when this was presented last time, I don't think this was there. So is this already part of like it's in being used by this project already?
Yes.
I see the API. Okay. And what's my other question was sorry, I was just trying to go back to here. So it looks like, because we actually tried to do this volume group. And I'm interested in this in particular, but I think there is one particular issue that we didn't get resolved, is how to like add volumes to your group, right? But I see that you here in the API, you're actually just using the labels. So it's like
So a group is whatever has that label at that time.
yeah, so it's like the way we are doing volume group snapshot, right? So then probably it's like in the status you will have the list of volumes, but you see here in the source you use this label selector, just like what we do for volume group snapshot. So you don't really, so this way you don't have to go like add, remove. Remember that was the that was one issue we couldn't get resolved last time, right? We
Well,
were
I think the
thinking about.
challenge there is a lot of storage arrays, to the extent that they can do group replication, it relies on a fairly immutable concept of a group, because like the volumes have to physically be in the same place
Mhm.
for some arrays. And that's a massive limitation. So
Yeah.
I mean, so to be clear, I think the path forward is going to be like, let's get the other storage vendors to do implementations, or at least commit that the API will work for them in its current form to do an implementation, and then if we can get enough vendors to nod their heads and say we like this, then run with it. I anticipate that will be a big problem because every storage vendor I've ever seen has so many persnickety small requirements around exactly how their array does things, and they're like, oh, I can't make this work this way, and you'll end up, the devil will be in those details. But if we can get past those, then we have a really great path forward.
Yes, thank you. I mean, we've sort of identified those potential roadblocks, in advance. And I'm not empowered or authorized to speak on behalf of any of the partners that we're working with. But the list of partners that we are working with on exactly this is not empty. I can say that.
And the we you're referring to is Ramen DR or IBM or?
Specifically, I am part of Red Hat Ecosystems Engineering, which is outside of the exact engineering groups that are responsible for Ramen DR itself, for ACM itself, and for ODF itself. We're part of Red Hat Engineering that specifically generally works with commercial partners to do things like this, to bring specific kinds of hardware supports to various platforms of ours, OpenShift and RHEL, and our group also does some Ansible content as well. But we are working specifically with the upstream of Ramen DR. We are working specifically with the engineering groups in Red Hat that do ODF and Ceph.
I'm just
And
wondering,
we are,
like, let's say I'm a hypothetical storage company and I want to get involved. Like, do I go talk to the Ramen DR people? Do I go talk to the OpenShift people? Do I talk to IBM? Like that.
you talk to us. We've got the resources that are detailed to this project, and the product that will eventually be part of it.
Okay, cool. Where can we like I assume this is probably, given this is coming out of Red Hat IBM, I assume this is like an iteration of the original design that we heard about years ago from Red Hat. Is that fair to assume, or is
I
this
think this is
was
more
this?
than that because remember last time there was only volume replication. That's how I remember. So
Yeah, but
now they
I mean,
actually have volume
is this an
replication.
evolution of that original design, or is this
But I,
something, because I want to understand all the details. How does it work? Like,
mhm.
where's the educational material on where I can just get a walkthrough of how this API works? Or were you planning on presenting that in one of these meetings?
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to get to that point. This is
Okay.
the official upstream and downstream documentation for all of the productized ramen bits. And for all intents and purposes, uh, ramen is not widely used outside of ODF and outside of the ODF multi-cluster operator, as documented in the link that Matt just posted. And hi, Matt. I didn't know you were part of this group, but it's good to see you here.
Hello. I'm excited to work with you again too, Martin.
Uh, um, so, what we're working on doing, we've identified a number of weaknesses in the existing Ramen DR project. It is too focused on, it's not an attractive thing for storage array vendors to participate in, because it's all wrapped up in the details of ACM, and it's all wrapped up in the details of ODF and Ceph right now. But we haven't, neither have we actively sought out partners to say, we want you to pressure test this API and to make sure that it's good to become, properly part of CSI. We are in that process now. It won't happen probably, well, it won't happen for a little while, but we're also planning on weakening the dependency on ACM/OCM as a dependency of the Ramen DR project as well. Because of Ramen's roots and for a number of commercial reasons, we're not going to drop it. But we do want to provide an alternative path for entities that don't necessarily want or need ACM to be able to operate in a kind of in a 2-cluster model instead of the current 3-cluster model that's required by the current state of the project. So we'll be doing work in ROM and DR upstream. We'll be doing work with partners. Our group sees the IBM storage group as partners in a very similar way to the way that we see the commercial array partners. And as we make progress, our intention is to put this on a path and specifically put the CSI replication add-ons on the path to adoption as full-scale CSI standards.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
yeah, this Ben I was looking at this one. It's basically this is basically create group, create volume group, and then you get this ID back, right? This is very similar to the other specs. Then this will return a list of volumes. So when the group is created, the list of volumes is actually fixed. Yeah, so this is how this one is currently designed.
You mean that the group, the volumes pre-exist the group, not the other way around?
So basically, it's like it's a little bit like it's. Remember, my original proposal, I was trying to do volume group snapshot. I also have replication group, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that, but this one is basically you don't like add members to it. This is you use the label selector, right? So and then you have the list, but when you call CSI, you already have a list of volumes that is fixed. So,
Yeah.
so if you look at this interface, it has this fixed, right? So you have the volume IDs.
So the
And
idea is
after-
you have a bunch of volumes and then you group them rather than like you create a group and you put a bunch of volumes into it.
Right, right. So and then when you and then this is the response, right? Part of the response, you get everything back as well, but you also get this ID. Right? You input his name, you get back ID. This is the same way we have other CSI APIs. Yeah, I guess the only thing is the what is this? Oh, okay. There is actually this one. Okay, let's see. So there is a modified membership, right? So this was the issue we had last time. It's just
If
like how do you modify this, right? So this is
yes.
the problem we had.
If the group is just a collection of pre-existing volumes, then modifying it is relatively easy, right? Because it's just that the volumes already existed and you're just sort of drawing a line around them. The challenge is for storage arrays where like you have to create the group first and then instantiate the new volumes into the group. Like, those are way harder to mutate because like the volume is somehow physically tied to the group that it was created inside and can't be removed, and you can't put it in a different group easily.
So yeah, so this is like you do need to have like let's say if you want to support this one, this will be like a separate capability. Not everybody can support this, right? This was the problem last time.
But this is a better design. Like this is more user friendly, right? Users don't want to deal with like, oh, I can't put this volume in this group because such and such. Like they just want to express their intent. Hey, I want these volumes to be replicated together, and the systems are supposed to do it. I like from a user's perspective, that's way better. And some storage vendors can't do it, and that's too bad. But I think like my strong opinion is that we should always have the user experience centered in our design more than what the storage vendors can or can't do exactly. We want to have a design that solves the user's problem, and if the storage vendors can't implement it, then that creates an incentive for the storage vendors to improve their products rather than the other way around where we just make the API worse because the storage vendors can't do the good thing, right?
Yeah, we've already had some internal discussions about whether there's a little bit of semantic daylight between a consistency group and a volume group, in the sense that the snapshots that you may want to take, in a consistency group, all of the members of the consistency group have to be in lockstep. In a volume group, there may be reasons to group things that don't need to be exactly in lockstep, so that a consistency group could be a proper subset of a volume group. But whether that is going to be enough, for this particular use case, this is something that we're definitely going to need the expertise of the actual array vendors to be able to speak about. And I wish I could say more about who we're working with and why we're working with them, but we expect that will get pressure tested very shortly.
Awesome. Yeah. I think you'll be forced to make some API compromises to accommodate limitations of actual hardware, but yeah, we want to, in general, lean towards the better user experience, even if a storage vendor can't do something. That you want to find like the minimal subset of compromises you need to make such that you can get a good number of implementations to work. Compromises from like an ideal user experience.
Right. For what it's worth, I think that's a very solid strategy, and like it makes a lot of sense to me. It's what we're hopefully going to be able to push for. But we're kicking this off, and we'll be working on it. And as we make progress, we'll be happy to provide updates here, and hopefully other partners who are working with us will be able to share their perspectives here publicly as well.
Now, are you planning to do a presentation of this, or you want to just give us update? Like of course, we can go read the document. It would be actually good to have a presentation.
I will be happy to do a presentation when we have something a bit more material to talk about. So,
Okay.
maybe not
Sure.
the next working group session. I will attend the next working group session.
Yeah,
But,
no problem. I
once
was just wondering. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm happy to present on stuff. Just ask Matt. I love talking about things. But um the initiative itself is new enough that we don't have a lot of material outside of the public docs to talk to yet. That's all.
Yeah,
Sure.
what I was wondering is if I put on, I formerly worked at NetApp, so if I put on like my NetApp hat, if I was at NetApp still and I wanted to implement this, and I came to you and said, "How can NetApp implement this API?" Like, I wouldn't know what you would tell me. Like, what kind of questions would be asked? What would you have to figure out to answer that question? I don't know if
Yeah.
you're actually working with anyone in NetApp now, but I remember how it used to be when I was there.
I can't say. But if you were from any company that made commercial array gear, what I would tell you is that we are currently working on a compliance test suite for this API, for these APIs, which is currently targeted at the Rook Ceph implementation, which is kind of the reference implementation for this API. But our goal is to make it so that, and we hope to release that fairly soon. It's in that test suite is in a fairly advanced state of development, and our goal would be able to hand it over to an array vendor with a suitable CSI driver and say, plug your bits in, test to see if it works, and give us feedback.
Cool. Yeah, I like it.
Ben, actually, okay, just a question. I remember this. So like, okay, so let's say you want to create you want to create this group, volume group, and then this returns a volume group ID. I remember you said some backend, they don't really have this group concept, so they can't return this one. You think this is a problem?
That was specific to consistency groups. Like I happen to know that the NetApp implementation of consistency groups doesn't require any sort of, it's completely ephemeral. Like, so you just say, hey, snapshot these volumes together right now, and you don't need to like create group or delete group to make that happen. You just say, do it on this group.
That's a
Or here's
snapshots, right? But for
right.
replication, is there such a group ID thing?
It's definitely different for replication. But like again, the underlying mechanisms for doing these things in different arrays can be the same and they can be different, and it quickly it gets weird and complicated. So I'm a that's why I love this approach of like, here is an implementation. Like let's see who else can do this implementation, and just try to get a bunch of storage vendors together to agree on something. Because if you try to design something that works for everyone, someone's always going to get left out because of there's so
Right.
many weird limitations. So
Okay, good.
yeah.
Martin, anything else from you? Others?
Those are the main things that I came here to convey. I'm happy to take
Mhm.
any questions, and if anyone else is interested in participating, I'm happy to have that conversation too. I'm active on the upstream Kubernetes Slack as well. So thank you for giving me the time to speak to it today.
Thank you. All right. So, yeah, definitely let's just keep the discussion going for this. I think that's all I have. I don't think Blaine's here. Yeah, but maybe next time when he is available. Anything else from anyone? Any update or anyone to say anything?
Yeah, just a quick update on the white paper. Dave and I are
Oh,
working
okay.
on it, and we're making some very good progress.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, this is Nick. I'm working with Martin. I just had a question. So this, the volume replication add-on spec for CSI, what was the genesis of that spec? I mean, who originally created it? Was it done within like SIG Storage Working Group or?
Which spec?
The CSI add-ons is pretty clearly
Yeah.
a
No,
Red Hat
that's Red
specific
Hat. That's
repo.
not. Yeah, that's Red Hat's project. Yeah, they
Yep.
Oh, it just lives in this repo
yeah,
that we.
they actually
Yeah.
Okay.
they presented it some time ago, right? I think along with the there was Kubernetes APIs, but that's not a volume group at that time. At that time, it's just a volume replication. I think it's maybe not in this, maybe this one. I think they talked about yeah, at that time definitely when they
Okay.
presented last time there was
So-
no volume group. This is new. That's why I was I just
Yeah.
this one
So
I went to
the-
yeah.
That's why I was
The
wondering why
notion-
you hadn't seen it before. Yeah.
The notion-
I definitely have seen something, like this before, right? But not this other one. Yeah, volume group is new.
This has the
the
appearance of
notion-
being official Kubernetes, but it's not. It's Red Hat stuff.
Yeah, it's
Okay, that's where my
add-ons.
misunderstanding is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It very much is. The Kubernetes CSI add-ons org is owned by the Ceph engineering team. And so yes, they did work on proposing this before. When it was first proposed, Ceph did not have the concept of consistency groups at all. They're working through how that sort of entity needs to exist within a Ceph world. They released some stuff recently that was a bit problematic, and they're still kind of working on it. But the intention is to make the add-ons more generic, such that they can be used by other storage providers in addition to Ceph and ODF.
Okay. Sounds good. Mhm. Okay. Anything else? If not, that's it for today. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for hosting, Xing. Goodbye.
All right.